Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the tour of the Genesis Circle Jerk Minecraft server. Last time the game crashed. This time we're going to Lamland, which is the main project on the server that it was until we finished it. This is the button that goes to clown on windshield, and it lags for a second. This is like a really long way away from spawn. As you can see, I got some nice tunes in the background. That's from the resource pack that I put on. It's pretty cool. And this, of course, is the flannel windshield. It is... And this part, Wall of Death has descended on the land in New York City. I don't know why there's zombies. I swore I put it on peaceful mode. But I guess not. And right now I'm just seeing if there's any Easter eggs around here. 'Cause I don't remember if I put any. But I might have. Because other than that, this place is basically just... It's basically just New York City, or a smaller part of it. Oh, there's a light over there. That's weird. Oh well. Oh, I guess not. Anyway, what did that sign over there say? I forgot. Here comes the Wall of Death. And this is it takes you back to New York City. It takes you right around here in front of Madison Square Garden. And of course we're gonna go back because that's not even all of it. Actually, this might have been done before this place was closed. Interesting. And of course, here is Cocoon, where you go here from a two-dimensional road. You just up on a texture plate, which is basically just the entirety of Broadway Melody of 1974, like condensed into one pressure plate. Here is In the Cage. This was renovated out of a ravine that we found while building a later part of the Lamland. This takes you back to the cocoon. Down here's a sign that does nothing. Out there are all the cages that are joined to form a star. I don't think it actually joins to form a star, but you can imagine that it does. I think over there is where the cocoon was built, in the walls. And over there is the later part. I think it's back in New York City. Here's Keep on Turning. And one thing I specifically did was when you teleport in, you are facing away from the Keep on Turning, so you actually do have to turn in order to get to the button. That's something I thought was pretty clever. This is... I should probably mention who built each part. I built the cocoon part. I started building the cage part, but Vapu, who was the other guy, who also known as Phil, he basically just made it better. He made a lot of this. He made it way better than I ever could have. And yet, anyway, this part I built and Phil made better. This is, of course, the Grand Parade of Lifeless Packaging. Here's the desk, the receptionist desk, where you find a drooping lady. Here's the factory floor. We got numbers. Out there is something that's pretty cool. I know I'm kind of schizophrenic, but it's like a skyline, even though it's underground, so it doesn't really make sense. But it still looks cool. That was also made by Vapu. Here's numbers 1 through 9. Of course, here's Brother John, who is number 9. it's so hard to get to big time land. Help me. Number 9. Number 9. And up here is the lyrics to Big Time, which was put by a person who really likes Big Time, of course. And of course, this place is quite confusing if you're really slow and anyways. So I'm gonna do a whole tour of all of these doors. I'm gonna put a thing here to mark where I've been. Down here. Can I see? No, you can't. And there was that. You can go ahead if you like. And here is black for some reason. There's not really anything in there. And here is actually something, I think. Never mind. Calling all stations. That's my favorite album. That's not a joke, that's a real thing, that's definitely not. Down here is something really interesting. Thank you. Haven't been down here. Oh, I think this is the cool place. Congratulations, you have been visited by the Hammond of Destiny. Yay. I'm very happy now. Can you see? Can you hear me? Oh. Oh, that's clever. In here is nothing. And here, though, is me going up here to the thing. Over here is a light, probably to prevent mobs from spawning. Anyways, what can I talk about? Oh yeah, this place was originally it was made like entirely by me, John. It was made mostly by me, but it was just kind of bare bones. It was just like stone. It wasn't really much of anything. But later on, actually a while on, the poo I think came in and just like made everything way better. Yeah, that's why it looks way better than what I usually build in Minecraft. This one's really long, I must say. Yeah, there's not really much of anything. It's just we had to have 32 of them that go back into each other. Of course, interesting. So yeah, a bunch of these just go around each other. That one is just for fools. Luckily, it looks like we're almost done here. And I think that's actually all of them. Except for the correct one, which is, of course, this one. Which is completely unmarked because of reasons. Here is, of course, the waiting room, which you go in when Lily White's Lilith shows Rail the correct door. I might just say, there's only like 32 doors. How are there so many people in this chamber? If there's one right one, you could just go in one of them, each one of them again, and eventually you'll get it. It's not that difficult. Anyway, here's the actual waiting room, the one that's depicted on the cover. There used to be a clock here, I think, but it's been deleted. Let's go back to anyway. Yeah, that just takes you here. This is a very cool stone room. This went through a few redesigns before we settled on this. There's a cool bridge. I don't know if this bridge was actually in it. Up here's a really nice Easter egg. And actually, that reminds me. Um, somewhere around here is a thing. Somewhere around here. It's not here. Oh, here it is. You just follow this path. And as you see, there's something here. I think actually this it's been deleted at this point, I guess. But over here, I don't remember who, but somebody was going to make a thing that played the Waiting Room CD on repeat, because there's different CDs here, and one of them is the Waiting Room. This is a later version of the resource pack, one that I never released, that basically just changed a few of the CDs. It actually added like different names for them, and also I changed some of the textures. Like I changed this diamond sword one to a cocaine mallet, and also we have the knife. So that's something that's pretty cool. I'm going back up here. And over here you can hear the villager. Oh, somebody deleted the sign. Somebody was complaining about, like, why does it take so long to get to the chamber through your doors? And I was like, Rail has to get through it, so do you. And in here is the supernatural anesthetist, which is quite cool. He says, And here, oh, I forgot to mention, over here is, anyway, up here was a contraption that trapped you in gravel. It broke like immediately, and I guess it's been fixed now. That was supposed to represent anyway, because he got trapped in rocks. Over here is a very beautiful room. It's for the Lamia. I would have expected this hall to be longer, but I guess it's not. And it's just really cool. In here, originally there was another like trapdoor thing on top of it, and when you opened it, it said, "Lol, get nay-nayed." That's quite intriguing. And in here, you get taken like a really long, far away, like 40,000 blocks away from spawn. And this, of course, is supposed to represent Silent Sorrow and Empty Boats, which you may have noticed at the start of the video. This again was based on the Nathaniel Barlam video, where you sail along. I don't even think that part was even in the original Lamb, because in the liner notes it just says that he walks back to the door he came in and comes out of the Slippery Man place, but in the Nathaniel Barlam video, he like takes a boat ride in this really beautiful place filled with stars. And originally this was like just a long hallway along here, but there's a story of one time when we were building it, I decided to just Vapu went AFK, and I just decided to like expand it. Vapu made the Lamia room, by the way, and it's really cool. And usually there's a boat over there. It's not over here. So cold, so dark. And you go down here, and there is nothing, as you can see. It is just absolutely nothing. However, this is basically where the colony of Slipperman was supposed to be. This was like the last place we built for the Lamb Land. And originally, there was actually something here, Vapu and I, we had like different ideas for what they should be. He had the idea of having mud huts. I had the idea of like a ghetto. So we sort of combined it. We put like a ghetto buildings along here. We had mud huts over here in the center, and over here was like a mountain thing, which still has it, but in the walls. But this is where Dr. Diaper's place would be. Here's the marble table. And also a really interesting Easter egg. In here in the ghetto building was a teleporter. And I can just get out the thing. Oh, it already is a button here. It would take you to some of you might know what this is. This was a meme from a few years ago. This was the back rooms. So you made this when the back rooms was like a whole thing that everyone was like, oh. And over here is my favorite part because it glitches out and it renders incorrectly. And over here is where you get out. I'm not gonna fix that because no one's gonna get on the server. It just is going away today. Over there's something really interesting. I'll probably show you once I'm done looking over here. Here's something I'm really a big fan of, where I had a cool like perspective thing. This is of course Ravine. This is after Rail is chasing after the Raven. This was an actual ravine I found under water that looked really cool. Actually, it was like 2 ravines that I had to like dig out and combine and do stuff with, but it turned out really cool. You walk along here, along the ravine, as you listen to the atmospheric sounds of Tony Banks on his keyboard. And over here is the light dies down on Broadway. Something I failed to add when I originally made it was the view into New York City, which was something that Vapu added later. I think most of this was me actually. But over here you can see that it's actually not finished. So you can just walk in here. You can look into the. Oh, I thought there was a sign there. That would have been cool if there was just like a little Easter egg for anyone going snooping. There's a zombie guy over there. There's a sponge. Over here is nothing, and that's about it. And over here is a very interesting thing. If you use it, it goes back to the beginning. It teleports you to Cocoon. But what's supposed to be the thing is that if you walk in here, you can see the ravine and you can see the way out, or the way out in quotations. But over here is where Brother John's supposed to be, drowning in the ravine. I don't know why it's like messed up down there. It just is reasons. But over here is the scree that you ride on. Now here is a cool thing, but I'm just going to ignore that for right now because there's a cool Easter egg that you can find over here. If you just bop down. Here's an Easter egg if you go down to the place. Welcome to Gay Baby Jail, Retad. That's a Simple Clips shout out for all those of you who are smart. But you go over here and you just flick that switch. And you go back to Ravine. I want to find out what song this is. Oh, what the heck? I think this is just a regular Minecraft song. That's pretty weird. I thought I'd stamp those out and destroy them. But anyways, after you go down the scree and in the rapids, you find yourself on a rock that's firm. There's supposed to be those rocks. Then you find out that that's not his face. It's mine. It's mine, and here is it. And you go down a cool light show, and you eventually find yourself back in New York City. However, if you're playing on survival mode, once you teleport back to New York City, you die from fall damage. So, anyways, that is actually not everything that Lamland has to offer. For you see, there is another even more secretive land to be discovered once you go all the way back through Lamland and just go really fast. Just go back up through the What? Oh, that's the remnants of the anyway thing. That's pretty cool. Anyways, going back through the land of the lamb. Vapu was gonna make a new colony of Superman. He never did. But anyways, if you go up here, you see a platform. But if you go even up further, some of you might know the user Brit, also known as the Big Time Person. This was their interpretation of the colony of Slipperman, which actually is pretty cool. And you can just go through here. It's pretty cool actually. I'm just gonna go around and explore the cavernous colony. And I remember in the liner notes of the Lamb, what the heck? Oh, this is the optical illusion for Ravine. I remember. Anyways, in the liner notes for the Lamb, it shows Colony as like a ghetto, I think. Somewhere in the lore of the intricate lore of the Lamb lays down on Broadway. It lists like the colony as a sort of ghetto place reminiscent of New York City, but I guess that the other two people they thought it should be more primitive or something, which is fair. If you explore around here, you'll find cool places. However, there's even more secrets to be had in this land. If you go up here, you can go up these steps, find more houses. And over there, Home Wild City's playing right now, which is pretty cool. Down there. Big Brain commentary. Here's the sort of compound. Over here is pretty cool. It like goes even deeper. This secret actually is way more intricate than just like a secret alternate version of the land. This is a shortcut to a place I'll show later. But if you dig deeper into the conspiracy, you find this place. However, this might just look like a randomly generated thing, and it is. But if you go deeper into the place, you find that the secrets they continue. It just gets more and more intricate, and you start to wonder, this is flooded. This is flooded. fall in water, the song stops. So if you're listening to a really good song and you fall in the water, then I guess you just have to suck then. This might take a while because I want to like get footage of everywhere in the LAM place, or in the just in the server in general, but that usually takes a while because you know there's no one's gonna be able to explore this later to get footage. It's just gonna be done and over with because the server's going down. There's nothing over here, and it's very easy to get lost in this area in particular because it's like, oh, there's a secret or something, but luckily I can go back here. Already been here. This is the place. I already kind of sort of went to. That's fine. Anyways, you can go up further, and it starts to get more and more built of end bricks or something. There's a lot of granite here. And I really like this place. It sort of like gives off an air of mystery. I don't really think there's much more to see here. There's this cool place that like shows over a ravine. And this is really interesting actually. I don't know if I've ever been down here. That goes nowhere. How? I'm stunned because there's so much work gone into here that just barely anyone saw. And just like, dang. If anyone watching this happens to be named Brit, or happens to know Brit, even though I can always talk to them, this is really cool. But I wanted to let you know that. Yeah, this music sort of encapsulates what I'm thinking right now. I guess that's just a typical thing. Anyway, back up to this place. Now over here is the biggest secret of all, which is that if you try to go up here, there's like a landslide leading back up here, and this seems to be the only way further up. So you're like, oh, I guess I'll go back because that's the end. That's the end of landline. You can't go back up above ground, so there's got to be a stop somewhere. Or is it? You see, if you go up here and you explore more, because I don't want to miss anything. Oh, it just loops back around. But if you go over here and you go up this seemingly innocuous steps, you can find that you can go past the landslide and you can see daylight as you step outside. Come across this place, which is quite interesting. Oh, before I get into that, I'm just gonna go over here, and I'm gonna show off this, which is where Ravine and the whole place was built, and over here, which is where it is. And yeah, I think I'm gonna probably stop here because I'm basically done with Lamb Land at this point, and this is a whole nother land entirely. So I think I'm gonna stop right there, and I'll pick up next time with some other cool stuff